Alessandro viene, arriva. Poi lo dicono che Alessandro. Cominciamo pure.
Hello. Hi. Sorry. Can everyone hear me here? Good. Perfect. So welcome everyone to the final event of the GreenSCENT Farm to Form program. We're very excited to finally be here today. So my name is Ryan and I will be your host during this final event. So before we start, we will have a welcome speech by Vani Resta, presenting the Farm to Form program. Then we will go over a brief overview to look at all the journey that finalists went through to be here today. And then we will have two separate pitching sessions. So we will start with our student pitching sessions. After each pitch from the student track, we will have 5 minutes of Q&A with the jury members, and then we will have a break. After the break, we will continue with the pitching session of the startup track, after which we will have a jury deliberation for the student track, because the jury members of the startup track already selected the winners. And then finally, we will all come back here, reconvene, and discover the winners of both tracks. After all this, we will of course celebrate. We have a small cocktail, so it will be fun for everyone. So if you could please help me welcome Vani Resta for a small welcome speech.
Thank you. Welcome to everybody. It's really I'm honored to be here presenting this important and very emotional event. Some words about the project. GreenSCENT is an Horizon 2020 project. It's now finishing. End of this year, it will be completed. And so we are now, let me say, it is like an harvest. We are taking up all the achievements and results we are having. We are considering this event as an important achievement, of course. 2 words on myself. I'm the project coordinator of GreenSCENT since 2 months, a little bit more. I have to special thanks to who was the previous coordinator, Alessandro Caforio, who is the real pillar of this project. We have a number of pillars in this project. Another one is here in this room, Professor Alessandro Pollini, who is the real important person. Other 2 pillars are Professor Falegnami and Professor Tomassi here again, representing, of course, Uninettuno, the International Telematic University, Uninettuno in Rome. So we are learning a lot from this project. It is quite complex, 36 months of duration. It is really something tough, important. And we have a lot of different aspects to be keep into consideration. And now, in this crucial hand, we are thinking about how to exploit the result achieved during the project. We are having a lot of good ideas in mind. We are still moving to other ideas, very, very recent. So just as you know, probably one of the main goal of the GreenSCENT project is to give a sort of license, like a driving license for sustainability. And this is something which is not existing still now. And so far we are, of course, we are in competition with other institutional and other training institution in defining something who can certificate a certain level, a certain degree of knowledge within the environmental skills, competence, and attitude we want to, since the beginning we took into consideration in GreenSCENT projects. And this is something important, but probably this license it will be important if it will be shared, of course, in all the European Union, but probably also extended to other countries. In fact, the very recent thing we are now exploring is to also give this certification also in the MENA countries, in the Mediterranean area. And this could be probably an outcome. It is too early to talk about that. I'm doing because I'm very motivated and passionate about this possibility related to GreenSCENT project. And after this description of the real pillars of the project, I want to apologize because Gaël Leboulet, our project officer, is now involved in an important and very bureaucratic meeting within the European Commission and the RIA agency, and so she won't be present, and this is a pity. Let me say that talking about from farm to fork, like this, the master of this event, I was also an evaluator of the last call for proposal, expired in February, the 27th of February, in Horizon Europe, sorry. It is something that is developing because it is a two-stage call. So we just evaluated who are the winner of the first stage that will be called to complete the candidature for having to submit the full project by October. So by September, and since October, we will start the second bunch of evaluation. So from farm to fork is an area within the European Green Deal, which is very fascinating. It is trivial that I'm saying me to you this, keeping into consideration you participate to this challenge, to this contest. And so I'm very happy that we are here now with this prize. I want to further exploit your job, your participation in this challenge, in this context. Probably we want it because due to the fact that the University has also a frequency on Sky, a television frequency, we want probably realize a documentary on this challenge. We will see probably in Rome. We are still defining. I'm not promising anything. I'm in closing contact with Solène. Solène, thanks to you. Sorry, I was forgetting to say thank you to Agorize, starting from my friend Solène, who is really another important, more than a pillar. You are the basement, you are the concrete, you are the roof, everything. Okay, I don't want to steal you a lot of time. I want to ask to my colleague if they want to make some introduction of the technical part, the demonstrator, the other demonstrator we are having, which could be nice. Otherwise, we can proceed with the prize. Okay, I see that the technical part is very boring, and so we can skip that. Okay. Again, thank you very much. I'm happy to be here with you, and congratulations to everybody.
Thank you so much. So indeed, a lot of partners were involved in this concept to even maximize impact. So we had 2 tracks in the Farm to Fork challenge. The student track was offering 4 themes for students to tackle. So we had the urban farming revolution, the tree leaders, play local, think global, and waste warriors, to really think about all the themes that are related to the food supply chain from farm to fork, waste management, etc. So the challenge for students was launched in October, and we had more than 1,000 students participate in more than 400 teams. So we had a very, very large pool of applications, which led us to, after a lot of rigorous shortlisting, processing, and mentoring, to our 4 finalist teams who are here today. These 4 teams are Foodbox, Locavore Ladies, Savior Worms, and Sprinkles. And I'm not gonna present them more because they have 5 minutes to do this. But I'm sure we can all already applaud them for this huge achievement to be here today. We would also like to, of course, thank our jury members who also took the time to assess every application and evaluate them in order to select our 4 finalist teams. So again, thank you. And also thank you to our mentors who accompanied these teams in order to challenge them even more to perfect and improve their solutions. So thank you, everyone. On the other side, we also had the startup track, which also gathered more than 90 applications in the 2 tracks, the 2 categories. We also went through a selection phase in order to get to our 4 finalist teams. So again, congratulations. So tackling the green packaging category, we have coffee-based and Go Zero Waste. And tackling the green dining category, we have Magnotherm and Bravo Foods who made it to the final. Another thank you to the jury members of the startup track who already selected the winners. So we will discover these results later on. But we will also hear from the startups, they will pitch, and in order to understand better their solutions, we can also, like jury members and the audience are also free to ask them questions, even if the selection has already been done. So are you ready to start? Yes? Perfect. So let's begin. So today we will start with our first pitching session with the student track. And we have our esteemed jury members for today, which will help us select the winner of the student track. So welcome, jury members. The rules of the pitching for students will be, they are easy. So you just have one number to have in mind. It's 5 minutes. You will have 5 minutes to pitch, and then 5 minutes of Q&A with the jury members. For students who are pitching, you will also have a tablet here showing you the time that you have left. So keep an eye on it. When 5 minutes are up, we will have an alarm, and then we will please ask you to wrap up because it's the rules and we need to pay attention to the timing. Then we will also have the 5 minutes with jury members. So I would like to invite the first team, Foodbox, to kickstart this pitching session. Here?
Just here, yes.
Okay. Okay. If you wanted to appear on the wall, you have just to use the table. Feel free to do it. Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
All good.
Okay, so to move to the next slide, you click on this.
Okay.
And there's the mic, and just point it towards this.
All right.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
So you are all probably.
Wrong direction.
Yeah.
Okay. You're all probably wondering why did I bring this box? Well, it represents the amount of food that is wasted in Poland every second. Just like this, it's wasted. And this amounts to 4.8 million tons of food that is being wasted in Poland every year. But Poland, my home country, is not the only place with this problem. In 2021, European Union produced 58 million tons of food. And interestingly, 50% of it was generated by households, by us, the individuals. And sadly, 78 million people cannot afford a quality meal every second day. Last but not least, food is something that once wasted cannot be used, recycled, upcycled again. That's why it's so important to save it before it's rotten or before it expires. And I don't want you to look at these boxes. I want you to look at this box. This is a concept from Poland, my home country. Food box is a community community fridge where individuals can both deposit and retrieve food for free. It allows individuals, but also companies, to share their excess food with others. It's placed in cities, usually next to transportation hubs, but also next to urban settlements, so people can as easily take and donate food. So I'm pretty sure that after Christmas or before travel or simply at the end of the week, you had some excess food. And so Foodbox is a perfect place where people can donate their excess food. And the average user, you may think, are people who are homeless or people in financial trouble, but in fact, all of us need food. And therefore, the beauty of Foodbox is that everyone can donate, but at the same time, everyone can take it. So being inspired with this vision from Poland, I see every European country, every European city has those boxes installed. So everyone can take it. I see it as a universal, standardized place built of quality materials that are waterproof and certified. I see Foodbox as a close collaboration between local communities and local governments, ensuring that everyone can access, also people with different disabilities. As I said, this is inspiration from Poland, and over 200 containers has already been installed, showing that this concept works. And I would love to share this further in Europe. So apart from, of course, donating and sharing food and taking it, I see Foodbox as a call to action. I see Foodbox as a place that brings people from different generations, cultures, social situations. A place that builds and engages with local communities, that can also raise awareness and educate people about not wasting food. And lastly, builds trust and social responsibility among all of us. So one question that often comes is how to ensure safety and cleanliness in those containers. So first of all, municipality in Poland chooses 1 or 2 people who are responsible for the fridge, meaning once or twice a week someone comes, checks the food, if it's not rotten, if it's clean, and also there are instructions on what can be donated and what cannot. I will give the jury the instructions so you can get familiar with. And lastly, I know that Foodbox will not solve the problem of food waste. But I truly believe this is a place, a concept that can make our cities greener and more community engagement, but at the same time educate people about responsibilities and the importance of saving food. I'm pretty sure you have many questions, and I'm here to answer them all. Thank you very much. To the jury, I would like to give the instructions. To whom can I give it?
You haven't been the jury, but it'd be very interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Someone else?
So jury members, we now have like 5 minutes to ask questions.
Yes, just a curiosity more than a question. So this solution is already running in Poland.
Yes.
And I don't know, you participated in it. you bring food in the fridge? How you get involved in this?
Yeah, so I studied in the Netherlands and I also studied in Sweden. So I didn't live in Poland for the last 4 years. But because I live close to Warsaw, I saw those containers myself. I saw food inside of them. I saw even when people were taking food of it. There is even a map of Warsaw, but also other major cities in Poland that locates every fridge as well. So I didn't participate in this yet because I don't live in Poland, but I saw people using it. And I contacted an organization and they said that one fridge can save up to 13 tons of food per month. So those are the results. Thank you.
Well, first of all, congrats. I think that's a great idea. I love the fact that it's actually connecting citizens and building bridges within the community. I think that's really important. I do have a question. I think you already gave a few elements on it. But I was wondering what happens if, for example, the food gets spoiled before somebody actually picks it up.
Mm-hmm.
You also mentioned that there would be people cleaning the device, and whose responsibility is it if there's, for example, a case of food intoxication?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have some elements to answer this, or maybe you saw something regarding those topics in Poland?
Mm-hmm. As I said, this is, I think, the most common question. That's why I also included it in my presentation. In this instruction, at the bottom, it says that you are responsible for taking food from the fridge. That's one thing. I think, we're building trust. I think all of us have self-judgment as well. So if I see that the food is spoiled, I will not take it, right? Also, it says there that every food that we put inside needs some labels. So if it's like a soup, for example, it has to be written what's inside of the soup. And as I said, once or twice a week, there are people from municipality that buys the fridge or purchase the fridge. They select 1 or 2 people who are visiting fridge once or twice a week, checking if the food is not spoiled, if it's not expired, not rotten, if it's clean, if needed, just 5 minutes and then clean the shelves. But also in Warsaw and also other Polish cities, there are also volunteers who are collecting food from restaurants, bakeries, and they also bring it to the food box. And at the same time, they take care of it. So there are 2 options. One is the municipality, but around food boxes, we can create volunteers who are also taking care of it.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions?
I actually have one. You said that there are 2 possibilities, either to involve municipalities or volunteers. How do you think you can convince them to take part of this project? It's a beautiful project. I appreciate it. It's amazing. But we know that sometimes people are not very open to this. How do you plan on convincing them to take part of this project?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Surprisingly, there are people who live only from food boxes, meaning their whole diet is almost based on food instead of those fridges. So I think those are the so-called early evangelists who are showing and taking. And I think on one side, it's word of mouth of saying, hey, I just got pizza from food box. Did you check it? But on the other side, there is also responsibility of the municipality to educate people, to show it. So of course, it's a process. We see that in Poland it works. So why not to try it, place one fridge in Brussels and see how people will react to it, how they engage with it. So of course it's a try and error and finding best location as well. So it's a time to build this confidence and trust to food books. One more question.
One last question. It's an amazing project. I wanted to congratulate you as well. You just said right now the best place. What does it mean, the best place to place a box like this? A place where there's business or a place where people need it, in your opinion?
So I think it can be placed definitely close to urban settlements, meaning that after you go into work or school, you can just take it from your house, from your apartment, and from the exit or the entrance, you can just place it there. So imagine a situation when you are coming back from work or people from school, and they think, oh, my fridge is empty, right? So, but on the main metro station, there is a food box. So on the way from home, from the way from work, I can just grab a dinner for myself. So definitely the best place is urban settlements and places where a lot of people are traveling, either to school, work, and other institutions.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So next up, we have Locavor ladies.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
So you can start whenever you're ready. So you don't know me, and I don't know you, but I can tell you that we all have something in common in this room. I'm sure that at some point in your life, you've collected something: stamps, Pokemon cards, magnets, and so on. You see, that's why the principle of collecting is so strong, and we decided to build our solution around it.
And we know that we have this habit in common because this is the case of almost half of the under 25 years old. But first, let's talk about farm life. Currently, the average distance from farm to fork is about 10,000 effort hours in French measure. But actually, we could reduce that distance by tackling three main obstacles down. The first one is that people do not always know where they can buy local food. They want to be in direct contact with the producers, and they think that local food is too expensive. That's why we want to help families with children to overcome these barriers by doing the first step. Why families with children? Because children are affected by the collecting phenomenon, and about 35% of them use a smartphone on a daily basis. So this is the reason why we want to show them that local food is actually not too expensive compared to like the usual channels. Sorry. And we have a plan in two parts, both online and offline, to add them to discover it.
Sorry. Okay, so that brings us to our solution. Okay, so meet Tina the apple and Anna the chickpea. We know you think they're really cute because we do too. So these little characters are at the foundation of our groundbreaking solution. We are introducing the Loca Family Project, a series of collectible cards that will be distributed to the 550 local producers tagged with the label Produits Île-de-France. So the label Produits Île-de-France is a label that you can see right here that promotes short distribution channels and local produce on fruits, vegetables, dairy products, or even fish and meat. And so we challenge the families to collect these 32 unique cards when visiting their local producers and to receive one card for a minimum of 20 euros spent. So to receive one card for every 20 euros spent at their local producers. The cards feature educational elements for the parents as well as the kids, like for example, the family of the fruit or the vegetable, the seasonality, so when to consume it. And as well on the back of the card, a little recipe created by popular chefs to know how to cook your little produce. When the families will have collected their 32 cards, they will have a chance to win a final prize, either a free menu at a popular chef's restaurant for a family of 4, or to visit a local producer's farm. Then on the long run, we would like to take our Loca Family project to the next step and create a Loca Family app. This will facilitate access to the information for the consumers because first of all, they will be able to scan the QR code at the back of the card to add their little character digitally on their phone and complete their collection. They will also be able to scan their produce in store to see the seasonality, but also where to find their local producers nearby, as well as check out the recipes
directly online. We really believe that our local family project is not only just about thinking of local consumption as a responsibility, but it's about making a whole new exciting adventure out of it for the family.
So moving on to the implementation of our idea, our goal is to start with the Île-de-France region around Paris and to ensure that 10% of households in this region shop at local producers, versus 8% actually. So it represents around 50,000 new households and new customers for the local producers. We will start by developing 50,000 decks of cards to see how popular the project is. And regarding the budget, our goal is to be as sustainable as possible and not entirely depend on subsidies. So we have a revenue coming from a commission of 1% on all producer sales.
And then basically we would like to implement the project in 2 phases. The first phase with the launch of the card only on January 2025, sorry. And then we would like to test our mobile application after 6 months of development on April before launching it for real in May with an updated card version.
So in a nutshell, we think that our idea is really complete with both educational and fun purposes. So what are you waiting for to go to your local producer and get a very cheap fee to your collection?
Thank you. Questions from our jury members?
I have a question. Yes. How do you want to, you have to promote this, people have to know about this, so you need a kind of marketing plan around that. Do you have an idea how to get the people, the 50,000 households additionally?
Yeah, we thought about several things that we could do. First one could be stickers on the shops, which is currently already done for just saying that the products are labeled Produit de France. So it could be like member of the project or something like this. And there are several campaign, especially like in the transportation in Paris, because it's like in the Paris region, and like in the transportation we have some related to some screens which show the promotion of some public things. So we thought that it's not too expensive, or it can even be free because it's promoting like a regional project. So that could be 2 levels that we could use.
And just to complete, we budget 2 campaigns to support the 2 phases of the launch. So it would have 1 communication campaign for the card launch and 1 communication campaign for the application launch 6 months later.
Thank you.
Also, if I just might add something else, the fact that we also want to partner up with the popular chefs for the recipe ideas, and even could be a way for us to gain visibility if they're, like popular chefs that go on popular TV shows in France or in other countries. That could be a good way to communicate on our project.
About that, with the promotion, did you think about trying schools? Maybe kids will be attracted to the gamification part and convince their parents to go shopping more often for vegetables and visiting farms.
Yeah, actually, that's one of the reasons that we target children. It's free, and there is like the viral effect, which is really popular among young people, because we thought it was the Pokemon cards and the same principle. If they see their friends and so on who have the cards, there's like viral effect. So this is one of the ways you promote it freely.
I also had a question. How do you think that the supermarkets will react to this?
What will customers say?
Well, if the project is a success, hopefully they would like to join the project, and maybe they can have a kind of corner with local producers, and they can be member of the project. And there is already a thing like this in supermarkets, where when you buy about in our case, it's 20 euros. For each 20 euros spent, you receive a card, and maybe it can be done as well on supermarkets for the labeled products. Obviously, not for every fruit and vegetables. It would be too easy, and it's not the point of the project. So.
Thank you.
We have some time for, yeah.
I don't have a specific question, but I'd like to thank you very much for the quality of the slides. The visuals are amazing, and it really helps to understand the idea. So congrats on this.
Thank you very much.
So next up, we have Xavier Worms.
Hello everyone. You have to know that today only 40% of the plastic that is collected in Europe to recycle is actually recycled. The other is either buried or burned, contributing to the environmental pollution. This reality is due to the complexity of processing plastic mixture. New European and national legislation have for aim to reduce this pollution and also single-use plastic by 2025. On the other hand, we have food waste, which is a high issue also. We have to know that 1/3 of the food that is produced goes to the bin. This also contributes to the environmental issue and pollution, as the food production needs water, energy, land, and pesticides. We are Savermon, a group of engineers in biotechnology, and we focus on these issues. And our innovative solution is based on a circular economy that my colleagues will present.
Thank you. So Savermon focuses on two key organisms. So mealworms on one side and bacterium on the other. So why we use mealworm? It is because it has the ability to feed on plastic and mixed plastic. And coupled with low environmental impact rubbing, it is the most suitable actor for treatment of plastic. And bacteria is capable of producing bioplastic, with only oil as a feeding. A project is an innovative solution is based on the circular economic, with 3 loops. On the first loop, so we will use oil for the bacteria, and it will produce bioplastic. And on the second loop, we will use organic waste and mixed plastic alongside for the worm. And this worm will produce either fertilizer with the waste or worm floor when the worm will reach maturity, and the worm floor will be used for either livestock feeding or livestock side.
So a few words on the market. Our innovation products cover 3 blooming markets. While the bioplastic production is still at its early rise in France, the animal feed and fertilizer production are both quite established, and yet they still show some growth, especially with the considerations about sustainability. For each of those domains that our project covers, there are diverse competitors, which shows that there is a high demand in the domains that we cover. And for each competitor, they only target one project, whereas Savermon connects them all. We have imagined our proof of concept based on the European Commission expectations, and to fund it, we have formed a partnership with the Belgian municipality in order to perform activities with children to show them and teach them about waste sorting and recycling. Additionally, we have also connected with other stakeholders, such as the SICTAM and the Controlli, to make sure our project fits the actual local ecosystem. And this solution can be brought to life by rearing our worms into vertical farms and raising our bacteria culture in bioreactors. And this may be a game changer in the way we
imagine sustainable production, because for just a plant of about 2,000 meters square, we can, in 1 year, convert 600,000 kilograms of oil for our bacteria production and thus bioplastic production, as well as to convert and digest 30,000 tons of plastics, which is the equivalent of 3.5% of the unrecycled plastics in just the whole Ile-de-France region for just one plant. So to conclude, Saving Worms is a solution that enables us to convert organic and petroleum waste to valorize it using two organisms, a bacteria and a worm. So together, let's degrade yesterday's plastic to create tomorrow's plastic. Thank you so much for your attention.
Yeah, sorry. Maybe I missed kind of the part, but I have a question regarding the process, also the communication between the company and actually how the plastic will be collected, or maybe you can just simplify the process of how will this work.
Sure. So actually we have two starting materials, which are the plastic, the mixed plastic that cannot be recycled by the recycling centers. So they just put it away. They put it in little bits that we can directly take from them. The second starting material is waste oil, and we can take it from any. Sorry? Yeah, we can just take it from the waste of companies which use them. And once again, they pay for the waste to be treated, so we just have to collect them quite easily.
Another question?
Yes, one question, because I think that you designed this process more for a centralized process, right, with the company and the industry. Did you think maybe also distribute the system, for example, for local community, they can create their own process and then can create a centralization in a second phase? Or do you think only the system as a whole organization? I don't know if you understood the question.
I'm not sure, but right now we're working with the local community and with the local municipality to first with the children to make them know why it's important to recycle, so we start from there. And then we take, as Emma said, we can take from the local recycling center the plastic, and the aim is to take the plastic and also the food waste and to combine and give something that can be reusable for the local or the national. But this is not completely based on the we working with the industrial, as you said, this really we're taking the waste that cannot be treated right now and we're using it to create other stuff. So bioplastic or fertilizer, etc. So right now we're working in the local scale.
Okay. That's one question. First of all, let me congratulate with you for your solution. And I just want to know if I didn't get if it's still a proof of concept or you already implemented somehow.
So now we are doing the laboratory skills. We did a test on our bacteria, it worked well. We are testing also our worms, it worked well. So we're working on it. Our team just was founded last year, so it's a really new project and we're working on it really hard. So, and we are working on the proof of concept, and for now, everything we did in the experimental way is really good, and we're hoping to upscale it.
Okay, and the estimation rate of the consumption is agree with your ideas or somehow diverge?
Yes, it is based on literature, and every experiment we have done until now seems to match the expectations.
Thanks a lot.
All good for jury? Okay, thank you. So now we have our last team from the student track, Sprinkles.
So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to present you Sprinkles. Our slogan is Sprinkles because you're simply fantastic. And then
Okay, so I wanted to start this presentation with a little story. So we are from Toulouse, from the south of France, and we started this project with a little visit to the supermarket, searching for problems in the food industries, looking what is wrong there. And what we found in the initial steps of this project was photographs like this, like pomelos from Ecuador, bananas from Ghana, and basically products that are produced really, really far away from where we're from. So we start wondering why this is a problem and why we should address this. And we did a little research on internet, and we found a lot of data that is publicly available. And we found a really, really good insight for this project that actually is not about transportation, it's about waste. And I think all groups here realize a little bit this. In terms of sustainability, food waste around the world, in the industry around the world, make more emissions than the transport cost in the local market. So we wanted to build a solution that could address this problem, and this is how Sprinkles and our bread works. So our purpose is reducing food waste by reducing the gap between supply and the demand in the food industry, and using an algorithm that is a matching algorithm that can connect local producers with customers. And how we're going to do this is basically we have the preference of the customer, the data restriction, the neutral requirements, and for the other side we have local producers around on the defined area. So since we wanted to create a virtual market between locals and producers and customers that are around, we are going to use machine learning and some mathematics to optimize this market and reduce food waste using mathematics. So basically, you have a cost function here, and we are going to reduce it so we can allocate resources dynamically between producers and consumers. So my colleague Salsa will show how this works.
yes, so this is the homepage of our application. So in this page, you can select your preference, diet, allergy, and whether things you don't like, and then you match the food. All the information is on this page, and click there. You get more detailed information about the farmers, environmental impact, and etc. And then you can click on the like button, and then you match more food. And then you can swipe left. It works the same as the like button, and then it shows you also whether it's a season or not for educational reason. And then you can go to the card and pay. And now let us tell you a bit more about our journey. So first of all, we will kick off Sprinkles with our own local storage. Yes, and allowing us to optimize delivery, do quality checks, and also gain knowledge with the goal of creating the best first customer experiences And also heavily invest in marketing is also needed to proceed in the growth phase. And during which we'll also be focusing on further optimization on expansions also. We will begin developing Sprinkles farm map, which is crucial to proceed to the expansion phase. And once there, we will use it to outsource the operations directly to the farmers, which on the other hand will allow us to expand to more cities or countries. And we do not only have a plan, we also did research and tested our user acceptance. So the result was pretty good. And with like a thorough, detailed idea and also a very good result, I believe, and we also believe that it will make changes in food industry, and also we would love to see it being implemented in the future. And this is our team with Christina, Aikun, Juan, and me, Xiao. Thank you very much.
Super quick question. So the user use this application, mobile application, to choose what you like or you don't like it, and the food is delivered to your house, or you have to go in some place to take it.
Yeah, the idea is to deliver to the house because we want to give users the possibility to order food from different producers. So basically, we're gonna collect from different producers. This is on our side, and then people can get whatever they want because we kind of want to reproduce local farmers markets, but as an application.
Thank you. Thank you for the presentation as well.
I think it's a great idea. My concern would be, how would you convince farmers who might not be that technically able and close to apps, etc., to put their information into here so that it's usable?
Okay. So that's why we actually want to kick off with an own storage. In the in the kickoff phase, we're going to take the risk on our side because we know that farmers might not want to, take some risk on their end. And the idea is to basically turn around a little, or make them convince them that they should work with us as soon as we have enough customers, as soon as we can show them some proof that it actually works. But in the beginning, we're going to kick off with most of the risk on our side, and then as soon as we're a bit bigger, then probably they will want to work with us. And also we know for a fact that some farmers, especially of fruit and vegetables, sometimes they have to throw away stuff because it might not be as beautiful as the things you find in the supermarket. So this could also be a reason because we would take also the ugly fruits and veggies.
Thank you.
Any other questions? It's clear for you? Perfect. Okay, thank you. Okay, so thank you for all the presentations. So now we will take a 10-minute break and then come back for the startup track. Thank you, everyone.
Yes. I'm trying to get myself a marketing intern.
Nice
Anzi, non è quello che gli manca, è quello che c'ha dentro.
Hi everyone, welcome back. We will now start with our second pitching session with our startup finalists, starting with coffee-based cups.
Well, good afternoon. We are Remco and Lizanne from the Netherlands. And when we saw this challenge, we were enthusiastic right away. Advanced recycling technologies, alternative materials, and reusable products suiting a circular economy? Well, that's us. I do not have to tell the audience of today that there is a need to use raw materials very carefully and to make better use of waste materials. Well, I can tell you that there is a well-known waste material that's very interesting. Coffee grounds. Worldwide, 2 billion cups of coffee are drunk every single day, leaving million kilos of silver skin, coffee grounds, and single-use cups to be incinerated. And if I'm right, retail has around 1,300 employees. And if they like coffee the way an average European does, they produce 60 tons of coffee grounds every year. This material does not have to become waste, because coffee-based recycles coffee grounds into bio coffee granules. Why? Because we can turn it into various astonishing products. How does that work? Well, it all starts with collecting coffee grounds from companies all over the Netherlands through our coffee recycling service. Half of the subscription fee that companies are paying for this service is given back to them as shop credit that can be spent on products made out of the collected coffee grounds. So with those Dutch clients, we started to create a basis for a coffee recycle circle. Now we are focusing on scaling up together with big international clients like Nespresso, Johnson & Johnson, Société Générale, to create a balance between the collected coffee grounds and the products produced. Let me tell you a bit more about the process. We turn the silver skin and the coffee grounds into a special powder, which is mixed with a bio-based binder. And with pride, I can tell you, we are one of the very, very few who succeeded in creating a material out of waste that is compliant with the food safety regulations of the European Union and the ASEAN region. This made it possible for us to create one of our showpieces, cups made out of coffee. They are reusable, recyclable, unbreakable, dishwasher safe, and customizable. They are a perfect replacement for the single-use cups containing plastics, not because it's better for the environment, but also because those cups are not allowed anymore since the 1st of January of this year. We produce the cups via injection molding, but we also do sheet extrusion. And with those two techniques, we can produce various kinds of products. We focus especially on facility products, like cups, notebooks, business cards, plant pots, and also promotional items. We also help companies to decorate their coffee corners and reception areas with our products. So just imagine drinking your next coffee from a cup in a sea, both made out of coffee. That would be an experience, right? A few weeks ago, we were in the same kind of challenge, organized by Agarize and Société Générale. We were the proud winners, and within a few weeks, we will deliver the next 25,000 cups to their headquarters in Paris. So let's hope today will be a start of the same kind of collaboration with retail. Thank you very much.
We have 5 minutes of questions. If anyone has questions,
please.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I didn't get the material of the binder, so you find the powder.
Yeah. Well, we have different kind of binders. It depends on the end result. You can imagine if we bind the coffee with a starch kind of binder, we can create this kind of material, but it's not dishwasher proof because it's still it's bio-based, but it's also compostable. Yeah. So if you use it outside when it's in the rain or when you bury it, it will become starch and coffee again. For this product, that's fine, of course. But if you produce a cup, it should be reusable and it should be dishwasher proof. So there we use another type of bio-based binding material. So we can produce a product that's not longer biodegradable. So it should not end up in nature, but it's recyclable. So actually the binding material depends on the final function of the product.
Thank you so much.
Other questions, please.
Can I ask questions if you're not sure?
Yeah.
So who's your target customer then?
Well, we are focusing, we're a B2B company, so we're focusing on other companies, and we're mainly producing facility products. So we're focusing on companies who are seeking for cups, for example, and other promotional items, for example. So mainly big companies, actually all over Europe. That's our focus group now. That needs cups, notebooks, business card, plan spots. And we're now also working on 3D printing, bigger objects like seeds and bigger plant pots. So actually companies that use this material, and within the Netherlands, we're also focusing on the bigger companies drinking the coffee for our coffee recycling service. A question all the way in the back.
Yeah, I think it's a question online. So if you can just unmute yourself and go ahead.
Yeah, I'm unmuted. Hello, this is Emmanuel Dufaux from Retal. Nice to meet you. You said can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, yes.
Okay. So you said your cups were recyclable. I was wondering what type of recycling process would that be?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Well, the cups are bio-based, but they, as they end up, they are comparable with the PE polyethylene plastics. So within the recycling industry, when you have this recycling process where the shifting of the different types of plastics happens, it will be seen as a polyethylene, and there it goes to the polyethylene recycling system. So when a consumer is buying this product and it's thrown away in the plastic recycle stream, it will end up there. When a company is buying the cups and they buy bigger amounts, it's better for us if they hand it back to us after a certain time of use. Well, you can use it a lifetime, but when you don't want it anymore after a few years, for example, it's better if it comes back to us because we can recycle it one-to-one in our processes because we can regrind it and then make plant pots out of it, for example.
Okay, so theoretically it could be recycled along with PE material and mixed within PE resins as well without any quality issue, or it should be separated streams?
No, it's when it's thrown away, it can be recycled with a normal plastic recycling stream, but it's better to keep it as clean as it is because then it's 100% clean stream that we can reuse 100%. Otherwise, plastic recycling is always some kind of a downcycling because of the mixed plastics, but as long as it stays with the PE, it stays as clean as possible.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, offline or online?
Some ideas about the cost of this. second raw material, the cost. The comparison with other materials used for producing the same.
cost. Oh,
Yeah.
sure, yeah. Actually, for the coffee recycle service, we are being paid to collect the coffee grounds and process the coffee grounds. So there it starts with a part of our finance model in which we are paid to collect the coffee grounds. But then, of course, we start to add value to the material. We need to dry it. We need to make the materials. So there will be some extra costs. And then at the end, we create a material that is unique in the world. So actually, it's kind of hard to compare it with any other material. But if you compare it with the normal fossil plastics, it's more expensive because the scale is smaller, of course, than the plastic production that there is now based on fossil fuels. If you compare it to the bio-based materials that are already there, we are not more expensive than those materials, not more expensive than 10 or 20% than other materials on the market.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Just for the property of the material, because I saw that the lamp is there.
Yeah.
It's carved, so you can also use the sheet to create
Yeah, actually, it's nice to just hand out some of the products so you can feel and smell it yourself. When we make the sheet, we can make it a bit bigger, but also very thin like this one. So then it's flexible. This one is not waterproof, but it is flexible. You can print on it and you can bend it. So indeed, when you see the lamp over here, then the sheet material is bended a bit and fixed in a construction made out of this kind of material, because we also use it as a laminate on another material, so it becomes strong and not flexible anymore. So in this way, we can also build with it or make signing material with it. So it depends if we use it in combination with other materials or as a sheet itself, and then it's flexible.
Because I think about the cost, maybe because you create the mold, the injector mold, maybe is there is a higher price.
Yeah.
And then you can use the sheet to create also some cheaper things.
Absolutely true. Yeah, the injection molding, of course, you need some molds, which is quite an amount of money to invest in. With the sheet extrusion, indeed, we produce bigger amounts, especially for the notebooks that you saw for Nespresso, for example. We produce them on a very big scale, so then you have also the cheaper production possibilities because we produce on a big scale there. And indeed, products like this you can produce on a way lower scale than this one, for example. So yeah, it's nice to have both techniques.
Perfect. Thank you. Next up, we have Magnotherm.
Hey there, everybody. I'm Abby Krekel, or Abigail, from Magnotherm. We're a small startup, emerging young innovative company based near Frankfurt, Germany. I'm going to start my pitch with posing a question to you. What percentage of global carbon emissions do we think comes from cooling? Cooling is going to be refrigeration, air conditioning, industrial applications. Let's get like 3 guesses. What percentage? For perspective, private jets are about 1.25%. I see hand. 3, that's a good guess. 5, very good guess. One more, anybody? 8. It's about that. It's at least 7%. With the rise of AI, right now it's likely over 10% of carbon emissions come from the cooling industry. So that's a pretty big number that most people are very shocked by. Maybe not people in this group. So humanity is stuck right now in a catch-22.
the more we cool, the warmer we make the planet. The warmer it gets, the more we need to cool. So this is a huge problem. At least 7%, like I said, of global greenhouse emissions come from the cooling industry. 460 billion tons of CO2 equivalent will be emitted by 2060 without significant changes to the way that we as humans cool. As well, cooling technology has not changed in almost the 2 centuries since it's been invented. So it's always been this gas compressor method. It's extremely energy intensive. It's, it takes a lot of energy costs, and with rising energy costs, it's a real burden on families and commercial. So we also have here in Europe a higher amount of regulations on the horizon to help protect us, but not a real alternative, right? We're only making cooling less harmful, not actually zero global warming potential. So enter magnetic calorics. This is a completely different system than the traditional gas compressor system of cooling. Essentially, what you have is a metal, which when it's magnetized, heats up. When it's demagnetized, it cools down. We can run water through this process a few times until we achieve a temperature drop down to beverage temperatures and less. So essentially, this has been an effect that's been known for a very long time. Marie Curie's husband defined the Curie temperature of certain metals that they react to magnetic fields. Essentially, for the last 50 years or so, we've been trying to apply this to refrigeration. And what makes Magnotherm different is that we're the first to commercialize this solution. So we have, another alternative method, like another important thing about our technology is that it's not explosive and non-toxic and non-flammable, which for facility managers makes a huge difference. It's up to 30% more energy efficient. So it's going to cut electric bills of supermarkets by a very significant amount. And as well, it's very low maintenance. Right now, the most green supermarket and other commercial restaurant technology, it's either propane, which is sort of a safety risk, or it's big CO2 systems, which have very expensive maintenance and require very high skilled technicians to maintain. So these are better than what we've been currently using in the past, but it's still not good enough. So we do have a first product. So we have the Polaris beverage cooler. It's a CE certified magnetic caloric cooling refrigerator. It takes drinks down to a refreshing 2-3 degrees C. This is a proof of concept, a very mature prototype. We have a technology readiness level of 8. So it's very proven, very trustworthy. And we have about 12 devices out performing for customers right now, mostly in Europe, but also in North America and in Asia as well. Our next product that we're working on for hospitality for commercial applications is, here we go, a double door refrigerator. So we have our first versions running in our lab south of Frankfurt right now. The moment it's ready in just a few months, we're getting it in a local supermarket to have real on-site test data to be shown and proven in the commercial industry that this technology works and is better and more efficient and less maintenance than traditional tech.
Time is up if you want to.
Yes. So we have a team of over 40 people, like I said, rushing through here. What we're looking for now is early first customers in the hospitality and commercial and retail industries to show that this technology has a high potential to change the world. And essentially what makes us special, I would say, is that we're a group of engineers, salespeople, marketers, designers, dreamers who believe that action and science can make a significant difference to reverse the climate crisis. The questions.
What about the process of extraction of these metals?
Yeah, so right now we are using a well-known magnetic caloric material called gadolinium, which is a rare earth mineral, which has plenty of its own problems. It's fortunately also quite circular, so once sourced, it doesn't have to be continually resourced, it can be just repaired. And right now our engineers in the lab are working on a new material which has a much lower percentage of rare earth. It's mostly iron, so lanthanum, iron, silicon. That also has the advantages that it performs much better and at lower temperatures. So yeah, magnets as well. Magnet sourcing can be an issue, but we're about 5 years out from getting like all of the recycled windmill magnets. So it's fully circular economy ready.
Thank
you. Yeah.
Do we have questions online?
What about the prices of your products?
Yeah, so I'm actually really proud of our finance guy for bringing the price down so much. It's sort of this first of a kind thing in the world, right? It should be really expensive, like a Mercedes or something, but it's actually quite, we brought in the Polaris down to 8,000 euros. So with about 30 in existence, that's a pretty significant thing for us. We also are trying to focus on rentals right now so that like in sort of our local, let's say, Northwestern Europe, just so it's within like 600 kilometers of our office. The future device, we're aiming to get it down to maybe the 75th percentile of similarly priced, like similar size fridges for commercial applications. So it'll be a little more expensive than average, but the lifetime costs are significantly lower because the energy consumption is 30% less. So the math works out within like a year or two, you're saving a lot of money.
Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you for your presentation. It's super interesting for me. I'm interested in technology. Obviously, you're looking at catering or the food industry. How transferable is your technology to other areas? I'm thinking in terms of cooling systems in data centers, for instance. Because to me, I don't understand technology, but to me it seems really exciting.
Yeah, but for the online folks, the question was about other applications of the technology, such as data centers. Out of all of the questions I get, most people say air conditioning, other things like that. Data centers is actually the area that we're looking to move into next once we achieve our sub-zero temperatures in the coming like 2 months. There's such a high need right now with just for technology. We need server cooling, we need data center cooling. And our technology is really efficient at a large scale. So that's one of our most promising future applications. It's also a matter of what customers want, we'll make for them. So hydrogen liquefaction is another area that's really interesting, very different from refrigeration and kind of hard to understand. That's an area that we're moving into as well, more on the research phase. And yeah, other industrial applications. So warehouse cooling, that's also something we're looking at in the next 5 years.
Amazing.
Thank you. Anywhere.
All good? Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up we have past jet, maybe, I don't know, go zero waste.
We should use this one.
Yeah.
So thank you for having me. First of all, sorry about my English, I'm Spanish, so you know. My name is Martin Murato, I'm the CEO of Grow Zero Waste. And hello?
That's really hard.
Yeah, this one. So I would like to ask a question. Would you like to swim in a swimming pool full of waste?
No.
But every year we generate more than 800,000 Olympic pools in the world, and a lot of them are going to the forest, going to the rivers, and going to the oceans. So that's why we created the company, Go Zero Waste, 5 years ago, in order to facilitate a life without waste for people and companies. We believe in the principles of circular economy, where the waste is converted to resource for people and companies. With reusable containers, we could avoid a lot of CO2, a lot of water, and a lot of waste each year. That's why we created Passiot. Passiot is a device, IoT device, that is means packaging as a service and Internet of Things. How it works? First, you go to a shop and you find the device, you open with your app, you take the container, and you buy food in bulk. You can have it for 30 days, and then you return it in the same device because there is a return box there. We have a collaboration with social companies that are hiring people who are in a social risk exclusion in order to transport, clean them, and bring them back to the devices. So it's a circular economy project and a social project. The user journey is very easy because they just have to download the app or zero waste app. They just have to find shops where you can find the device and then ask for the containers. You just open the device, you take the container, you fill it with food. You can use it in a restaurant or a market, and then you return it in the return station. We have been doing some pilots in Spain because we wanted to try the technology. We have been developing the technology for 3 years, and now we are doing some pilots. That's why this opportunity is really important for us. And the idea is that we have the washing center in Barcelona, where you can see that there is a lot of opportunities around, like markets, restaurants, grocery shops, even theaters, and also fairs. So what are the benefits of this solution? For people, it's about connecting values. When you are concerned about the problem and you go to a shop and you see that they have a reasonable solution, you like the shop very much. We promote responsible consumption, and we increase loyalty because the users, they have to return the original container to the shops. So they get back and they can spend money more. And also for companies, for them is they reduce waste for sure. They reduce costs because reusable containers are cheaper than single-use plastic, and also they improve all the reports about sustainability. So we are not alone in this journey. We have some partners, institutional and private companies that are helping us to prove all the technology. And I would like to finish with another question. Now the pool is clean because thanks to circular economy. Would you like to jump with us? Thank you. Thank you so much. And also, I think with the coffee capsule, we do a lot of good partnerships because this one is made from rice, but we like the solution as well. So we talk later. Do you have any questions for me?
Are there any questions online?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I have a question regarding the type of reusable packaging you are going to use for your application. So I wanted to know if you are the decider of what format, what material you will use, and if so, if you have taken into account the new regulation at European level regarding recyclability and end of use of reusable packaging.
Yeah, this packaging is number 5, so it can be 100% recyclable, and it's made from rice, so that's another kind of waste that we are avoiding. And also it has more than 200 cycles of life. So when you use that more than 10 times, it's better than a single-use plastic. So that's why we are using this kind of material.
Any other questions? All good online? Okay, thank you.
Next up, we have Revel Foods.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emilio Aragón. I'm the head of sales at Revel Foods. And today I'm going to introduce you to the 3D food structuring technology. By now we are aware about overfishing and unsustainable aquaculture. Besides, there is not enough, or there is no good solutions on the market for plant-based products that resemble this texture and flavor like conventional seafood. So for that reason, we need a new process technology to create this new level product. Our solution, we have created a scalable 3D food extraction system for continuous production of two different materials in a defined shape. This enables us the functionality. For instance, we can reach this flakiness that you can find in conventional fish, for example, in a salmon fillet. It's a low temperature process, which means it retains the nutrients and it uses less energy than conventional methodologies. In order to showcase this technology, we have created a 3D printed salmon fillet made of mycoprotein. I'll tell you more about it later. So we've developed new hardware solutions for an industrial food production process with 3 patents. Our advanced extruder design with a continuous flow of materials, our multi-nozzle system for the upscaling. So with this system, we can put in a single printer 6 nozzles, and we can print 6 products at the same time. In this case, salmon fillets. And our digital and modular system allow flexible and digitalized adjustment in the production. Also, it's a plug-and-play system for more efficacy. So basically, if a printer gets broken, we can just replace it with another one while we fix it. For our 3D structured products, we are using clean label ingredients such as mycoprotein. Mycoprotein is a fungi-based protein made out and microalgae oils that are rich in omega-3 fatty acids. So we reach a complete amino acid profile. These products are higher digestible than, for example, beef or chicken, high in fibers and omega-3 and proteins, and we reach a Nutri-Score 8. For instance, the fillet that we are launching in September 2024, it has 15.2% grams of protein. This is so the low temperature process that I mentioned before allows a non-denaturation of the vitamins and the omega-3, so they stay in the product with more better properties. After our presentation. So basically, this is the promotional video of the Filet 1.0 that we launched in September 2023 in our online shop and in one fully plant-based supermarket in Austria, in Vienna, from the Rebel Group, just to test the technology, to gather some feedback. It leads to a big media interest worldwide. So here you can see some press and media coverage all around the world. I don't know, from Japan, North America, everywhere. It was a great hype. So now the first step has been successful. That was the first production we had to launch this first filet. And now we are in the second upscaling. Right now we're building our facilities in which we are going to place 8 printers. Each printer has this multi-nozzle system with 6 nozzles, so they can print 6 filet at the same time. And at a full capacity, we are estimating an outcome of 8 tons a month. For next year, we are thinking already about placing more printers there, like up to 20 printers. We can also produce other kind of 3D printed products, not only the fish fillet. And we are also aiming to accelerate the production times by optimizing the production. So here you can see some upscaling in numbers in which, as I mentioned before, we would like to increase the volumes, the production volumes by improving the production times. So by decreasing the production times, that would lead to an increase in the outcome. So an increase in the outcome, lower production cost, and it will also lead to a better end consumer prices. So the market is ready. Right now, we're in contact with many supermarket chains, distributors, wholesalers in Europe. It's very exciting now for the sales team at Raw Food. So we are sending samples everywhere in Europe. Very so much interest. Plant-based seafood market is growing every year, not as much as the meat alternatives, but it's a good field for us to prove our technology. It's very interesting, and there is almost no competition in 3D printed products. But this is not everything. So we can also use our technology for different applications. For instance, we are checking right now how to make for customized shapes, or we could use it for personalized nutritional products, maybe even coffee cups, and everything is possible. So yeah, we're testing different opportunities. The team that is making this possible. So we are also like 140 people in the company at the moment. Most of the people are from R&D, so are working in the R&D department. And yeah, I don't know what the future is going to bring to us, but I'm pretty sure that this technology is going to be a game changer. Thank you very much. Please, any questions?
Questions? I have one. How are you working on breaking the barrier of acceptance of potential future consumers? Like maybe some are vegan, vegetarian, but they might not be used to eating 3D printed food. So how are you working on bridging this barrier?
That's a very good question. We are trying, let's say, not to say that it's 3D printed products. So we're trying to find different names, like 3D structuring process. But if you think about it, like conventional products are also made this is like a mini extruder. Conventional products, you name it, all kind of products are made with huge extruders. So it's basically you put a material in a deposit and then you pass it through a machine and it comes out. So this is basically something similar, but it's finer, that we can get better structures, better shapes, and create something that you cannot reach with conventional methodologies.
Any other questions? Yeah.
Do you encounter any legislative issues in new technologies to make food?
For instance, in the food production, so far we are fine. We are just trying to fulfill all the European regulations and so on, and trying to get also our certificates. For example, the EFS certificate. Regarding ingredients, a good example is the microalgae oils that we were using for our filet. 2 years ago, that wasn't regulated because it's a novel ingredient. But now, at this moment, it's regulated finally, and it's a great source of omega-3. That's basically what the fish are eating. They are eating algae, and we are eating the fish. So yeah, we are trying to make it legal. Please.
My question: what's the price difference between 3D printed fillet and the regular one from the supermarket?
Okay. So I'm gonna go to the first fillet we launched. That was actually very expensive. We were losing money with every fillet. That's why now we are upscaling. With the upscaling, we are aiming at supermarket, so an end consumer price between 4 and 5 euros, depending on the location. For instance, in Austria, Germany, will cost around 4 euros with the VAT and everything, 100 gram. And yeah, countries further away, like for example, Spain, due to distribution and logistic costs, maybe 5 euros. Over time, we will be able to produce matched fillets with the same, let's say, personnel. So at the beginning, it's going to be more expensive, but with time, when we are more optimized, we will be able to reduce the prices even more. So the numbers, it was like we could produce one fillet for 2 euro, and in the future, we might be able to do it for €1.25, something like that. Yeah.
And how about the taste and the nutrition value compared to regular salmon?
Yeah, so it's pretty similar, but you will be able to try it in September 2024. But let's say conventional salmon has more than 20 grams protein, we aim 15%. Let's say if we add more protein there, it will be very bitter. So that's the limit for us. And you can feel the mouth feeling is like similar to conventional fish because we reach this flakiness with the technology. So yes, it's kind of fishy. Yeah, it's very similar.
Do we have questions online or no? Okay. Any other questions here?
Yeah, one more question. It is not a question. So the suggestion is to change the challenge not from farm to fork, but from 3D printer to fork.
Yeah. But we have to farm the fungi, no? Let's say we farm fungi, we farm the algae, and then we put it in the printer.
All right.
But yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Now we have the jury deliberation for the student track. So others will have like a 15-minute break. And jury members, if you could please follow Anna to the jury deliberation room. And we meet again for the results. Thanks.
We have to have an eye on what's in the
Yes. Okay. Well, at least you understood what we were saying. We were trying to call you to announce the winners of the green packaging category. So the floor is all yours.
Okay, thank you. So firstly, I would like to thank GreenSCENT on behalf of Rital for giving us that opportunity to join this contest as a part of the jury. We of course gladly accepted the invitation, and I can certainly say it was an interesting experience. Personally, I've quite enjoyed a lot to review the different projects that were submitted, many of which were very interesting and even inspiring. But I believe that with the two finalists that my colleague of the jury and myself selected, I think they really embody very key aspects of the packaging of the future, especially in the food industry. So the final decision has been a very close call, but the jury and myself, we have chosen as, I think, a very worthy winner, the coffee-based project. So congratulations.
So I'd also like to invite Martin to hand them over the prize. So if you, I don't know, do you want to say something? Okay.
Always nice to say something. Thank you so much, both of you, for listening to our presentation and also to look at our information. And well, of course, we are very proud that you're saying that this is one of the solutions for the future. So yeah, thank you so much for this honor.
Here you are.
Thanks. And now we'd like to invite the other final team for a picture.
The camera got closed.
Yes.
Yeah, the background.
Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you.
All together or?
Yeah.
Yes.
You come back. Ah.
Picture all together.
Yeah.
For you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes. And now we have Martin with us to announce the grand winner of the green dining category. We forgot the music.
Yeah, we need drums now. So the grand winner on the category that the casinos with their restaurants have supported is Revo Food. And I can add to it that just for you to know, the Casino Austria is the state licensed casinos in Austria, and actually the Grand Casino here in Brussels is also operated by Casinos Austria. They also in their 12 locations have 12 restaurants called Cuisino, not Casino, but Cuisino, and your salmon fillets will be offered in these restaurants whenever they're ready. So that's
Congrats.
The runner-up.
For being first runner-up. The music. And now, just a short break from announcements, because we also wanted to highlight a team that applied to the GreenSCENT student track. It's a team that actually showed the international impact of this program. They are from Vietnam and they are here with us. So they would like to present themselves. They are with us online. So just gonna put them back. No. For a short introduction, and then we have also a video to see and discover their solution.
Okay, it's not working.
It's late night already.
Yes. Yes. Now we can see you. Perfect.
Are we muted?
Yes. Okay. No, we're not muted, I think.
Okay. Well, go ahead. The floor is all yours.
Hello. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, very good day. Hello, Bruce Sam from Taipei. First of all, I would like to extend my congratulations to all of you guys for completing your pitching session. And I think you should be proud of your remarkable efforts. I am very impressed by the innovative idea you have brought to the Fun2Fun final, and I hope that these ideas will continue to flourish and contribute to a greener future. As for myself, I am currently a master's student at National Taiwan University, majoring in environmental informatics and risk management. And today I'm honored to have the opportunity to introduce to our project to you. Our project had named Food Loop, and we initiated this project at the beginning of 2023, driven by alarming issue of food waste in Vietnam, in my country. And Food Loop aimed to reduce food waste and transform it into clean energy. Accompanying me today is Miss Huyên, my esteemed teammate, and now I would like to invite Huyên to speak. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and bravo for all the work today. So now we will share with the audience the video that describes your solution and the work that you've done.
Welcome to Food Loop, a project dedicated to transforming waste into wealth. Food waste is a significant global issue, with millions suffering from hunger while food is discarded daily. Every year, about 1/3 of all food produced for human consumption is waste. That's roughly 1.3 billion tons, causing loss up to $100 billion.
In Vietnam, a person wastes about 121 kilograms of fruit annually. Over 50% of fresh fruit never reaches consumers, contributing to environmental pollution and food insecurity.
Food waste occurs at every stage, from production to retail and household. This waste not only affects the economy, but also exacerbates climate change by increasing methane emission, a potent greenhouse gas.
Vietnam faces severe electricity shortage. The demand for electricity shortage has surged.
outstripping supply, especially during dry season. This situation leads to power cut, affecting daily life and businesses.
Food address these issues by collecting and treating food waste, reducing waste by supporting the community, and producing clean energy through biomass classification technology.
We started by using IoT-enabled smart bin to collect food waste from our partner, restaurant, canteen, and shopping centers. This bin monitor waste level and send real-time data to our central system.
When a bin is full, our system notifies the collection team. We plan the most efficient routes to minimize carbon emissions and save cost.
Collected waste is transported to our biomass power plant, where it is processed into clean energy. Surplus food that is still safe is sorted and redistributed to communities, facilities, and non-profit.
By converting food waste into clean energy, we have reduced environmental pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. We also support those in need by redistributing safe and surplus food.
Food offers both environmental and economic benefits. We reduce waste management costs, generate clean energy, and contribute to climate change mitigation by reducing the emissions. Join us in creating a sustainable future, and welcome
to Food Loop.
Thank you, Food Loop, for being here with us today. Now everyone knows you here in the GreenSCENT Farm to Fork program, and you'll also receive a certificate of recognition by email. And now we will continue with our results. Okay. So I would like to invite Anna to announce the results of our student track.
All right, so, well, since sustainability is kind of the red thread of this challenge, after long and difficult deliberations, we have decided to choose. I have no music? Okay, all right. Sylvia Warnes as the winner of this challenge. So, let me explain why. So, because of the concrete tests that you have already run, and also for the connections that you have already made with local authorities in the community to go further with your project. Congrats. Please come here so I forget you had the nice. So we did have the music. Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we're going to take a picture with all participants, so please stay close. But before this, we also have decided to give a special mention to another group, which can I have yes. All right, so the special mention goes for Lacavor ladies. Yay. We have decided to tribute you to this special mention for a few reasons as well. First of all, for your great communication plan. We're really impressed by the gamification process, obviously, the visuals, and obviously the fact that you were using kids as a target group, because obviously those are the future actors of tomorrow, and this is basically what GreenSCENT is about. Congrats. So you're also invited to come on the stage. We'll place just right there to take a picture, and then we'll ask all participants to come here as well for another picture.
Yeah, and, for all the finalists of the student track, let's all take a souvenir picture because you also made it to the finals. You are the finalist from 400 teams, so it's also an achievement to
So congratulations to everybody for your dedication, your slides, your presence, your energy. Great job.
Thank you.
I just wanted to take, yes, I actually have 2 more certificates, and actually both are for Foodbox. First of all, because you're a finalist of this project. But of course, because you're also the winner of the public vote. You know, we had a jury who selected the finalists, but also one team who collected more than 700 likes on this project. So congratulations also on that.
Thank you.
Can I also have a picture with you? Together with Soleil. Soleil. Come with me, come on.
Like the girls
One more. Thank you. Yeah. And now let me invite one last person on stage, Gabrielle from ECQA, who will tell the participants about what awaits them and next steps.
Thank you very much indeed. So, dear farm to fork pioneers, you did not only gain a certificate of attendance, of honoring your job, you are also about to receive a European certificate, a driving license for farm to fork. We are about to launch this. We have to map the skills and competences you were showing us in these wonderful pitches and sessions. We are going to map with the so-called skills card, with the parts of the competence framework, a huge competence framework, not only for farm to fork, but for European Green Deal. So this is quite a big job, and we are going to issue these certificates for you as the first part of your great driving license for the European Green Deal. So thank you very much again, and we're excited. You are the first. You are the pioneers. Thank you.
And yes, so congrats to everyone, to all the finalists. Congrats to the winners, the runner-ups. You all gained something from this program and from coming here today. You gained potential collaborators, partners, maybe clients, maybe friends. So congrats, and let's all celebrate together.
Yes.
Good job, ladies. Super.